Welcome to the show, ISO Show. Today is Thursday, May 8th. After a big time Knicks win game 2 against the Celtics. Oh my goodness. Had to do an emergency show. It is early in the morning. I just finished rewatching that epic game, epic fourth quarter collapse or fourth quarter comeback or combination of the two. Wow. That was a crazy game. Yeah. I'm still a little I'm still laughing actually because I will admit I thought that the Celtics would win game 2. I thought that they would come out and learn from the mistakes of game 1, and I could not have imagined that they would literally just do a complete repeat of game 1, learn nothing. I should have known because I did say in the last show that my guy Joe Maz be a little bit stubborn sometimes, but oh man, hopefully they let Joe Maz that one timeout he left in his pocket at the end of the game 2. Hopefully they let him bring that with him to the Garden and he could use it in game 3. Maybe they changed the rules or something because I don't know why he wouldn't call a timeout, but that's a whole nother story. But that was crazy. Crazy game. Knicks go up 2-0. Sad day for the analytics dorks that have been making excuses for the Celtics for playing soft basketball, just shooting all those threes. Again, I hate to say it because I'm not anti-statistics. I'm not anti-data. But you got to combine that shit with understanding how basketball works. And like I said before, sometimes fucking big boy basketball wins the day. And this whole idea of playing math basketball, save that shit for the classroom. And that's what the Knicks told the Celtics last night, to save that math shit for the classroom, because huge fourth quarter for Mikal Bridges. I got to give Mikal Bridges a lot of credit. I've been a Mikal Bridges skeptic, and I'm not going to go as far as to say this changes everything about the way I view Mikal Bridges, but he did come up big in both games 1 and 2, particularly on the defensive end. You'd like to get a bucket before the fourth quarter, just one, maybe, but can't complain when he carries them throughout the entire comeback in the fourth quarter. 14 points he finishes with, and obviously the huge game-ending block steal, whatever you want to call it. But to be honest with you, the one thing I will say, obviously Mikal Bridges will be viewed as the hero after game 1. He sort of ends the game with the ball in his hands on defense in game 1 and 2. Game 2 was a lot more right place, right time than it was a great play by Mikal Bridges. And I want to give a lot of credit to the person who will not get acknowledged for making the big play in that final defensive stand, and that was Mitchell Robinson. That play doesn't happen without Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, who shot one of the probably the worst free throw I've ever seen watching basketball. I think Joakim Noah had an air ball that was real spooky looking at one point a couple of years back, but one of the worst, like, holy, where'd they pull this guy out of the stands? Like, how does a professional basketball player shoot this way? Scary looking, spooky free throw. He recovers from that. And I bring that up because I do think that there is something to, like, when you out there on the floor and you know they're going to foul you and put you on the line to try to embarrass you, and then you embarrass yourself, you live out the nightmare. That's not nothing when it comes to the psyche of a basketball player on the basketball court in a hostile environment in a big time game 2. And the fact that he was able to keep it together after a terrible free throw like that and still make defensive adjustments, still play hard defense, get rebounds and all that stuff that they needed him to do, I think that deserves to be respected. And if you watch the way that final play broke down, obviously it doesn't, there was so much more that went on in that fourth quarter and in the whole game. But my point is in that final play, Mikal Bridges will get credited for making the play. The play was really made by Mitchell Robinson. And I thought Tim Legler did a great job mapping out how that play came about based off of the previous play where Jason Tatum just blows by Mitchell Robinson. And that also led into why Joe Mazzulla probably didn't call that timeout, or at least that's how he explained it in the post game.
Joe, what was the thought process with not calling timeout there with 12 seconds left?
Had one left, got a good look on the exact same play 20 seconds earlier, tried to execute the exact same thing. They did a job of their lower pickup point, and we weren't able to get the advantage that we had on the last Tatum dunk. So good full court setting. They subbed out Towns, weren't able to sub out Brunson, had action there, and we just didn't execute.
Listening to his sound made me really interested in taking another look at it because he said they wanted to run the same action twice in a row. Now, here's the first one he's talking about. Boston down 1, 24 seconds to go. Jason Tatum, as you can see, is right here taking the ball out of bounds, and the guy primarily guarding him on this possession is right here, OG Anunoby. Now, you're going to see McBride's going to clear out because his responsibility is going to be pick up Derek White. So those guys are emptying out. So this pickup point, as Joe Mazzulla alluded to, is in the back court. This now allows this blast screen action right here. Al Horford is going to run up to a dead sprint at half court. His job is going to be to clip off OG Anunoby. Does a great job of it. If he does that, Jason Tatum knows the guy behind him is a center. It's going to be Mitchell Robinson. And there he is. And he's flat-footed. Tatum blows by, gets the dunk. Amazingly, to get a dunk in that situation, they go up one. Now, here they go. Brunson makes the 2 free throws. No timeout, even though you have one in your pocket if you're Mazzulla, because he said, I want to run the same action, thought we could get the same thing, but the Knicks had a much deeper pickup point. You don't see any defender on Jason Tatum in the backcourt. That makes an enormous difference. There's nobody in this space that there was in the last possession, which tells you where they are. And it's right here. Al Horford is again setting the screen. The problem is now both defenders involved in it are here. And not to mention the fact, the Knicks have 3 other guys. So there's a shell at the 3-point line. This is what Jason Tatum is looking at coming across half court. So here's my question, Scott. Even at this point, 9.8 left, you're down by 1. There's Joe Mazzulla right there. You could still call timeout right now because clearly based on what you thought you'd see, the Knicks defended it differently as you would expect. They just gave up a dunk and the game is on the line. He elects not to. I find it odd to trust your team on a night they were this bad offensively to go make a play. And Jason Tatum right here gets loose with his handle. This really affected the whole thing because I think what Jason Tatum wanted to do was drive in here and go to this step back mid-range. And if you can get Mitchell Robinson off of you, you might be able to get a clean look. But he fumbles the ball, ends up taking it down to the baseline. And this is what's really incredible to me now. These 2 games, you get 2 defenders here. Scott, somehow, some way, that ball has to find Jaylen Brown. It just does. This is 2 games in a row, Scott, where their best 2 players not only don't get off shots, they don't even get the ball out of their hands to someone else to make a play.
And it's Bridges both times.
Bridges both times. Strips the ball out of Jaylen Brown, makes the play right there. You rarely see great players in those moments not get a shot off or find someone and trust them to make a shot. They were incapable of doing either, and as a result, the Knicks go out of there, with 2 wins. And so I'm really questioning Mazzulla with that last timeout. Your team was so bad offensively. Take it off their plate. Give them something designed in that huddle, down 1, going downhill to the rim to try to maybe get a call or something going to the basket.
Yeah, so I was in the Knicks locker room after the game, and I specifically asked OG Anunoby, did you and Mitchell Robinson talk about how to defend it differently? Because the first time it was a disaster. And he said there was no time. As soon as Tatum got the ball, they looked at each other and said they knew what was happening. They knew they were going to do the play. And all across the Knicks locker room last night, praise for Mitchell Robinson for the way he made the adjustment, dropping further back, denying Tatum his preferred right side, forcing him into the hell.
So if you see the way that play broke down, obviously Mitchell Robinson is the one who made the adjustment. He falls back to the half-court line, doesn't overpress. So once you bring back the defense further into the half-court, now it changes everything. Jason Tatum makes no adjustment. Mitchell Robinson does the best he can to stay with him at the top of the key, causes him to kind of lose his balance, lose handle of the ball. Everything, all hell breaks loose. Tatum panics with the ball. Mikal Bridges ends up with the ball. But Mitchell Robinson's adjustment and Mitchell Robinson staying with him, moving his feet, causing him to lose his handle, forcing him to go into Anunoby and Mikal Bridges is what made that play happen. And I just, as a basketball fan, I just want to make sure, first thing I do is give Mitchell Robinson some love for making that play and keeping the dreams of the big man alive. because I've been saying this for a while. Again, as much as I love the fast-paced regular season basketball that we've sort of evolved to, there's always room for the big man, baby. The big man is having impacts. And Mitchell Robinson, if you see, pure example, Boston so desperately didn't want Mitchell Robinson on the floor. They were really willing to go into the bonus without even putting him on the line. They knew, Joe Mazzulla knew that they were going to sub Mitchell Robinson out before he even gets to the free throw line. And they still forced a foul just to get him off the floor because he was giving them problems. That's how you know that's impact on a basketball game. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't turn up in the stats. Mitchell Robinson's not out there dropping 30, and he didn't even necessarily have to grab 50 rebounds, but that's impact on the game. You're forcing the Celtics to put you into the bonus. Now, every foul, you're going to the free throw line. And you could just tell that the Knicks are all up in the Celtics' head, man. They are all in their head. This Boston Celtics team, you can't, like I said in the last episode, you can't take the championship away from them. They are the defending champs, but I was waiting to see how they were going to perform in this postseason because I watched that last postseason and they had one of the easiest routes to the finals that I've seen before in terms of facing teams that are depleted because of injury or compromised for any other reason. I felt like the Celtics needed to show me a big performance in this postseason to sort of cement and legitimize themselves as real true champions. Again, I don't know the proper way to say it because I'm not trying to delegitimize their championship. A championship is a championship. But just because they won last year, all of the questions that I had about Jason Tatum, about Jaylen Brown, and about sort of how they perform in these clutch moments and these clutch situations, high leverage situations, all those questions that I had going back to how they ended up blowing it against the Heat, just because they won last year, those questions were not answered. And you're seeing it right now in these first two fourth quarters of this series where they're facing a team that clearly has the clutch player of the year. And just, I don't know if it's that Brunson gives these other guys confidence, but you could just see everybody else in the fourth quarter, they're playing loose. And the Knicks, they're playing loose. They're attacking the basket. They're not afraid. They're flying around on defense. And you just look at the polar opposite on the other side with the Celtics. They look tight. They're breaking shots. They're settling. They're not aggressive. They're not physically attacking the basket. And it's a pure example. You look at the height. Just look at the height difference between Jason Tatum and Jalen Brunson. How many times do you see Jalen Brunson attack the basket, finish at the cup with a layup? Where you see Jason Tatum attack the basket, he always ends up shooting some fall away jump shot, some fade away, some step back three. That's never going to be a thing. And even on that last play, he's circumventing the paint and they don't even end up getting the shot off. Man, yeah, I'm not going to go as far as to say the Celtics are done and cooked, but this game 3 is going to be something, man, because this Celtics team has not shown me, like, typically when you have a defending champ or you have a team that has been there several times as this Celtics, that like these dudes have played a lot of playoff games and a lot of playoff series already in their young careers. Typically, you look at that team as a team that you have a ton of faith in. And no matter if they go down 0-2, 0-3, go down 20 in a game, you always feel like the championship pedigree will show itself. Weirdly enough, this Celtics team does not. I have no confidence in that. I gotta see it. I gotta see a big Jason Tatum put the team on my back and we're not gonna go down 0-3 in the hostile environment Garden. I gotta see that before I believe that anything like that is gonna happen, because I've seen it from Brunson. Unfortunately, Brunson's playoffs got cut short last year because of the broken hand. But where the Celtics at, man? If they keep on playing this game, trying to throw up these threes and not being soft, not going to the basket. I mean, how many times did I see Jason Tatum one-on-one with Brunson do like a fake post up and then try to pass as soon as even a little bit of help shades over, dishing it out, let's get the open three. I understand that statistically that's the right play. But when your team goes the final 8+ minutes of a fourth quarter without a field goal, the only field goal you get is the second to last possession where you get this breeze by Mitchell Robinson wide open dunk. Aside from that, y'all can't make shit. Bro, you gotta body Jalen Brunson's little ass down and get to the fucking basket. Fuck this passing it out to the open man three. Like, I understand you can give me all the statistic probabilities all you want. Sometimes you got to play fucking man up big boy basketball. There's always going to be room for big boy fucking basketball. And until the Celtics and Tatum and these dudes really kind of wrap their minds around that, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be in trouble. They finally gave up on taking nothing but 3-pointers with like a little over 2 minutes left in the game. It was too late. It was too late. Also, when all you do all game is look for the open 3-pointer, it impacts how you play offense. Like Jason Tatum, if he's only taken a handful of mid-range shots throughout the game, when it's crunch time, clutch time, and you're trying to now go into a bag and pull something out that you ain't used all game long, that shit impacts. Obviously, Jason Tatum, enormously skilled player. There's nothing he can't do. He can rebound, he can pass, he can shoot. He's incredibly skilled. But when you haven't gone to your bag, meanwhile, you've had Mikal Bridges getting to a spot, hitting mid-ranges for the entire fourth quarter. Same thing with Brunson. When it comes down to it in crunch time, less than 2 minutes left, that's a shot that they've been making for the last 10 minutes of the game. If you haven't even been taking those shots all game long, hard to go into your bag and pull that shit out at the end of the game when you desperately need it. So I just find the way that the Celtics have been playing, it's I don't know if it's arrogance. I don't know if it's stubbornness. I know it's not a lack of a bag. It's not a lack of options to do other things. It just seems like this is what they're comfortable doing. They don't want to get physical. They don't want to bang. They don't want to be in the post. And this is the result. Series is not over. It's going to be really interesting to see how it goes from here in game 3. Like I said last time, the Garden is going to be rocking. I can't even imagine. We might have to be out there. We might have to go out there and do one of these side talk type fucking shits out in the street or something, because it's going to be crazy. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, obviously champions. And you look at Derek White, Drew Holiday, Olympic gold medalists as well as champions. So I'm not going to disrespect these dudes and say that they can't put it together and make a comeback. I'm not going to disrespect them and say the series is over. I'm not going to disrespect them and say that they can't adjust and play a more physical game and adapt and meet the Knicks' intensity in those moments. But if they continue to play this soft college type of game for 3 quarters, and then in the fourth quarter, when the Knicks start to make things difficult, I don't know that they're going to be able to make that quick shift that way. But very exciting game. It's been a very exciting series. I got to give a lot of credit once again to Mikal Bridges for his fourth quarter scoring and his defense. The wing stop has finally proven to be an actual stopping of wings. Credit to Karl Anthony Towns. I know a lot of people are waiting for him to have a big offensive outburst. 21 points, that's fine enough. But he had another huge tip in, man. I got to give him credit because he's calling for what I'm preaching about these playoff basketball moments. He's getting near the basket, following up, second opportunities, and not afraid, not shying away from the physicality, not shying away from banging down low with with the rest of the crew. So got to give him credit for that. Obviously, not enough. I mean, we could talk about Jalen Brunson and what he means to this team, what he means to the city, and just where he's at. He's become, I mean, I don't dare I say Jordan-esque. He's just become this automatic clutch time performer that is I just feel like we are very, very fortunate to be able to watch this type of these types of performances, man. It's really, really good, really exciting. This has been an incredible NBA playoffs. I won't even really get too much into OKC and Denver because that was a nothing game. Denver, I feel like that game seven, typically the team that wins a game seven goes into the next series and gets blown out in game one because 7 game series can be draining. They saved their blowout for game two. Record breaking performance by OKC. They scored 87 points in the first half. That's never been done in the NBA playoffs before. Maybe it's finally catching up with the Nuggets and OKC just bodies them for the rest of this series. But what the Nuggets have shown me, at least this thus far in these playoffs, is just that they're showing that type of championship pedigree, and they're not going to go quietly. OKC maybe has the better team, and they figure out how to kind of get things done in these crunch time moments, or maybe they just don't even have to face crunch time moments and they just run Denver off the court for the next 3 games. But not too much going on with that series. Tie 1-1. We'll see where that goes, and then of course we will have tonight, game 2, no Steph Curry. We'll have Warriors and the Wolves. We'll see what we get from Ant-Man. We'll see what we get from playoff Jimmy. Is he about to put the Warriors on his back while Curry is out? We don't know. Remains to be seen. But we'll do a live show tonight, so keep a lookout for that. I'll probably touch a little bit more on this as I dig a little deeper into it, but that's what I got for right now. And then by tonight, maybe I'll have some picks ready, maybe some bets, maybe we try to get some money, maybe put a parlay together or something. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. But you already know, live from Harlem. Good luck to the Celtics, man. We'll see if y'all can pull it out till game 3. Peace.